morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is English Bulletin with me, Utsa Bhatrai. The top stories first. NCP leaders demand early appointment of any new House Speaker. Standing committee meeting to resume at 11 a.m. today. CIA arrest members of Guti Sansthan. The accused were held on bribery charges. Excel trip launched in Nepal. The integrated online system helps to book tickets in hotels worldwide. Pakistan sentences former dictator Musharraf to death in absentia. This is the first time a former army chief has been sentenced to death. And El Clasico today, Zidane hopes no obstruction occurs again. And now, the news in detail. Leaders of the ruling Nepal Communist Party have demanded the party leadership to finalize the selection of lower house speaker soon. The leaders made the demand during the ongoing standing committee meeting of the NCP held at party headquarters Thumbarai. Speaking at the meeting yesterday, the leaders expressed their concern that the process of selecting a new speaker should not be extended for a long time. They stressed on finalizing the new speaker at the earliest when the winter session of Parliament begins from this Friday. NCP leader Bhim Rawal said that the party must stand united and should not encourage groupism within the party.
पार्टी अध्यक्ष द्वयको प्रतिवेदनमा नै आइसकेपछि त यसमा छलफल हुने नै भयो। यसै नआए पनि हुन्थ्यो छलफल त। त्यसकारण सबैको भनाइ के छ भने यस्तो प्रकारको गुट उपगुट बनाउने, पार्टीमा विधि पद्धति प्रक्रिया कमजोर हुने यस्तो अवस्थाबाट पार्टीले जनताका आकांक्षाहरू पूरा गरेर राष्ट्रको आवश्यकता पूरा गर्न सक्दैन। त्यसकारण यो स्थितिको अन्त्य हुनुपर्छ र आगामी केन्द्रीय कमिटीको बैठकमा तत्सम्बन्धमा एक रूप भएर अगाडि जाने वातावरण बन्नुपर्छ भन्ने धेरैको धारणा छ।
Standing committee members made constructive criticism on the political report presented by the party's co-chairman Poush and the statute amendment proposal presented by General Secretary Vishnu Paudel. Leaders said they can discuss some of the issues raised in the meeting after the meeting as well.
प्रतिवेदन लाई सकारात्मक भन्दै विधा संशोधन प्रस्तावलाई पनि सकारात्मक भन्दै विभिन्न कोणबाट त्यसलाई परिमार्जन गर्न सुझावहरू दिनुभएको छ। कतिपय विषयहरूमा सब छलफल बैठक सकिएपछि पनि गर्नुपर्ने पार्टीमा विविध ढङ्गले त्यस्ता विचारहरू पनि उठेका छन्।
Altogether, 14 NCP leaders, including 2 invited guests, presented their views during yesterday's meeting. The meeting will resume again at 11 a.m. today. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse in Authority has arrested Chief Administration of Guti Sansthan Narayan Chowdhury and Deputy Chief Administrator Jai Prasad Regmi from their Tripureshwar-based office on allegation of bribery. CIAA officials arrested both Chowdhury and Regmi from the office premises yesterday. Both Chowdhury and Regmi have been arrested on charges of bribery from service seekers in a land-related dispute, informed Pradeep Kumar Koirala, spokesperson of CIAA. CIAA also informed that investigations are underway into the case. CIAA had been keeping a close eye on both Chowdhury and Regmi after complaint was filed against them. The government has displayed indifference towards addressing and solving the issues of national concern and citizens' daily need, alleged Mohan Vaidya, General Secretary of Nepal Communist Party, Maoist Revolutionary. Speaking at a press meet organized at Gol Bazar in Siraha district, General Secretary Vaidya alleged that the government has failed in all fronts. Despite India including Nepali territories of Kalapani, Lipulek and Limpiadhura in its political map, the government has failed to take any solid steps against the this act of Indian government, General Secretary Baidya stated. A press statement issued by General Secretary Baidya says the party will organize protest programs by forming strategic alliance with like-minded groups for the protection of national sovereignty and uplifting the minorities. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. After the break, we continue with other national news. A day after Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's issue a directive to reduce the number of road accidents, the Metropolitan Traffic Police Division has launched a 3-month-long traffic awareness campaign. A report.
The campaign was launched by the Metropolitan Traffic Police Division to bring awareness about the road accidents among the public and to improve traffic management. The campaign was specially launched targeting the college-going students, pedestrians and drivers. The campaign is a joint effort of the division and 40 other units of the traffic police. More than 130 police personnel will be deployed throughout the campaign.
बचाउन सक्यौं भने त्यो हामीले 30 वर्ष कमाउने तलब राशन भन्दा बढी ठूलो र सन्तोषप्रद हुन्छ र यसको रिभ्यू पनि बेला बेलामा भएर पृष्ठपोषणबाट प्राप्त हुने चीजलाई आगामी दिनहरुमा पनि प्लानमा पुनः के गर्नुहुन्छ त समेट्नुहुन्छ भन्ने पनि अपेक्षा गर्दछु.
Speakers at the launch of campaign complained of government and the road division completely ignoring in transport sector. More concerns were expressed about accidents that are caused because of people not using the already available flyover bridges.
नेपाल सरकारले त्यसमा मेरो मन्त्रालय यातायात मन्त्रालयले एकै शब्दमा भन्नुपर्दा नेपालको यातायात क्षेत्रलाई प्राथमिकतामा राखेकै छैन यो मेरो शब्द हो.
All Nepal Labour Association also expressed its dismay at the blames directed towards the drivers by the government. Speakers were unanimous in agreeing that instead of talking about traffic rules after an accident, awareness campaigns should be launched periodically.
श्रमजीवीहरूलाई अहिलेसम्म दोष मात्रै लगाउने र चाहिँ राज्यको तर्फबाट गर्नुपर्ने विषयवस्तुहरू उहाँहरूलाई सचेतनामूलक कार्यक्रममा सहभागी गर्नुपर्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ खासै कमै गर्ने सिस्टमहरू अहिले पाउँछौँ हामीले.
The campaign has been launched by Traffic Police Division to address the issues of lane discipline, inculcating safe road usage habits, efforts to improve cooperation, accident reduction, and traffic management.
Nepali Congress leader Dila Sangraula has accused the government of failing to execute labour agreements signed with various nations. Speaking at a press meet organised at the Parliamentary Party Office of Nepali Congress, Sangraula also charged the government of misusing Social Security Fund. Prior to the press meet, leaders of the main opposition party had handed a letter to Labour Minister Rameshwar Rai Yadav to draw his attention on related issues. Leader Sangraula accused the two-third majority government of being capitalist in disguise and exploiting people in the name of labour welfare.
श्रमिकको क्षेत्रमा सर्वहारा श्रमिकको पार्टी पनि आफूलाई यो सरकारले भनिरहेछ. तर श्रमिकको सर्वहाराको पार्टी भन्ने अहिलेको सरकार चाहिँ के छ भने अहिले क्रोनिक क्यापिटलिजममा राखेको छ, पुँजीपतिको पार्टी भइराखेको छ. जताकतै व्यतिथि देखिया छन्, जताकतै भ्रष्टाचार पनि छ.
The concerned parties have been left out in the Social Security Fund, leader Sangraula added. Nepali Congress demands an explanation in this regard, Sangraula said. Leader Sangraula is also the shadow Labour Minister of the shadow government formed by the main opposition party. And now the news from Economic Front. The private sector of Nepal has launched Excel Trip, an integrated online system to promote tourism in the country. Travelers can easily book hotels and air tickets worldwide through this online system. This system, which has been approved by Nepal Tourism Board, is believed to boost tourism during the Visit Nepal 2020 campaign. Stakeholders believe that the launch of this system will help in creating more job opportunities and retaining the youth workforce within the country.
ट्राभलले आएर चाहिँ नि एउटा भनौँ न इन्टरनेसनल एक्सचेन्ज ट्रिपले आएर चाहिँ नि एउटा एग्रिगेटरको रूपमा चाहिँ सपोर्ट गरेर टुरिज्म सेक्टरलाई मुभ गराउन चाहन्छ भनेपछि त हामी सबैले एकदम वार्मली यसलाई एक्सेप्ट गरेर चाहिँ नि नेपालको टुरिज्म सेक्टरलाई इन्टरनेसनली नै हामीले भनौँ कि रिकग्निसन भइसकेको।
Gyanendra Kharka, a Nepali youth residing in the United States, launched this system in Nepal. The system was supported by eSewa and Softwareka College. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back, and now the international news. A Pakistani court sentenced former military dictator Pervez Musharraf to death in absentia yesterday on treason charges, according to media reports. He has been found guilty of imposing a state of emergency in 2007. The court's decision marks the first time a former leader of the armed forces has been sentenced to death in Pakistan, where the military maintains a firm grip on power and has ruled the country for roughly half its 72-year history, AFP reported. Musharraf has been in self-imposed exile ever since a travel ban was lifted in 2016 that allowed him to seek medical treatment abroad. The 76-year-old has lately spent most of his time between Dubai and London, said AFP. The full ruling by a special anti-terrorism court was not immediately available, but the three judges reached a majority verdict, with two of them deciding against Musharraf, Reuters reported. Musharraf, who is now 76, imposed a state of emergency at a time when he faced growing opposition to his rule and a countrywide campaign led by his lawyers, judges and political parties. All civil liberties, human rights and democratic processes were suspended from November 2007 to 2008. The final years of Musharraf's rule were marked by struggles with the judiciary over his wish to remain head of the army while also being president. He quit in 2008 after a political party that backed him fared poorly in national election. Clashes erupted in New Delhi yesterday between thousands of protesters and police, Reuters reported. According to the news agency, it is the latest violence in a week of opposition to a new law that makes it easier for non-Muslims from neighbouring countries to gain citizenship. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government says the new law will save religious minorities such as Hindus and Christians from prosecution in neighbouring Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan by offering them a path to Indian citizenship. But the law does not apply to Muslims, which critics say weakens India's secular foundations, according to Reuters. Police fired tear gas in the new Silampur part of the capital to push back protesters swarming to barricade and throwing stones. A local resident reported that it started as a peaceful protest against the citizenship bill but got out of hand. According to Reuters, cars were damaged and roads strewn with rocks, while small fires on the road sent smoke into the air. There have been growing questions about the stance of the government led by Modi's Hindu Nationalist Party towards India's 172 Muslims, or 14% of the population. The citizenship law follows the revocation of the special status of the Muslim-majority Kashmir region and a court ruling clearing the way for the construction of a Hindu temple on the site of a mosque raised by Hindu zealots. Firefighters in Australia warned yesterday they would not be able to contain some of the 100 fires still ablaze in the country before conditions are expected to deteriorate later this week, Reuters reported. Temperatures across parts of eastern state of New South Wales are expected to top 40 degrees Celsius today, just shy of a record high for Australia's most populous state. With bushland indoor box dry, authorities warned locals near existing blazes that the fire could spread. Firefighters are battling more than 120 fires across NSW, including a 60-kilometre fire front northwest of Sydney. Many of that have been burning since November. The fires have killed 6 people, destroyed more than 680 homes, and burned nearly 300 million acres of bushland. Escalating wildfires threaten to blanket Sydney, home to more than 5 million people and better known for its clear skies and blue harbour and smoke and ash again. Bushfires are common in Australia's hot, dry summers, but the ferocity and early arrival of the fires last month in the southern hemisphere spring is unprecedented. Experts have said climate change has left bushland extremely dry. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Real Madrid manager Zinedine Zidane says they have to believe today's El Clasico against fierce rivals Barcelona will go ahead. The La Liga match was originally scheduled for October 26 but was postponed to December 18 because of fears of civil unrest in Catalonia. The game had been delayed by 2 whole months after days of protest took place in Barcelona as 9 Catalan separatist leaders were convicted of sedition over their role in the referendum and handed jail sentences up to 13 years. Both clubs disagreed with calls to switch the game to Madrid. However, both teams will travel at the same time 2 hours before kickoff amid security concerns. Both sides are level on 35 points, but Barca tops the table on goal difference after 16 games. 8 times winners Liverpool were thrashed by Aston Villa in quarter-final of the English Football League Cup by 5-0. With the Reds' senior players in action at the Club World Cup in Qatar on Wednesday, Under-23's boss Neil Clichy led a side containing 5 debutants and had an average age of 19 years, 6 months and 3 days, the youngest side ever in the competition's history. This was Liverpool's heaviest League Cup defeat, eclipsing a 4-1 loss to West Ham in 1988 and a 6-3 reverse by Arsenal in 2007. For Aston Villa, man of the match Jonathan Costa scored 2 goals as Wesley Boyes and Horiane scored goals apiece. The senior Liverpool side will play against a Mexican side Monterrey in their Club World Cup semi-final in Qatar today. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. NCP leaders demand early appointment of new House Speaker. Standing committee meeting to resume at 11 a.m. today. CIAA arrest members of Guti Sanstan. The accused were held on bribery charge. Excel trip launched in Nepal. The integrated online system expected to help book tickets in hotels worldwide. Pakistan sentences former dictator Musharraf to death in absentia. This is the first time a former army chief has been sentenced to date. And El Clasico today, Zinedine Zidane hopes no obstruction occurs again. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.